Morning guys, welcome to the channel. If you guys are new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I do a whole bunch of DIY stuff on my two RX7 FDs, and I've got an R32 GTR as well. So a bunch of DIY, JDM content, all sorts of stuff, driving videos, etc. I'm busy building my 600 horsepower R32 GTR. That's happening quite slowly, but I am getting there. So for today's video, we're going to be taking the black RX7 to go do something called CRR, or Certificate of Roadworthy. This is the final step. I mentioned a couple of videos ago that I got my final paperwork for this car, and now I can do the registration, but they won't let me register until I've got a valid CRR that's within like 60 days or something. So I've got to go do this again, prove to them the car's fine, no issues. There's the car now. So I've got to go to work, so my old man's busy driving the RX7, I'm going to drive my Duke. I'm going to put you guys in the GoPro in the Duke. But I've got to go back to work afterwards, so my old man's going to take it. We're going to go to CR together, and he's just going to keep the car for the rest of the day. It's pretty cool for him. And I've got my silver one right here. So not much has happened. I'll give you guys a little bit of an update while we're driving. So we swapped places. The black one's been washed. This one needs a hell of a bath. You can see all the dust on it. Okay guys, let's get in the car and we're going to start going. I'll talk you guys through what's been happening and what's the plans. Okay guys, welcome back. We are inside my Nissan Duke. Sorry for the mess and the kiddies' toys behind. Yeah, this is my daily driver, my wife's car. I actually need to pick up a daily driver for myself. So we've been looking at a couple cars recently, possibly a Subaru Forester XT or 2.5 XT. I think it's 169 kilowatts, decent. But nothing just yet. I need to finish this house. We need to get back on our feet. This house has just been crazy expensive with renovations. So quick rundown of what's been happening at the house. I've been tearing everything down. So bathrooms have been torn down, all the tiling, everything on the walls, that's all been torn down. So new fittings, new everything. So that's been coming in. We've redone all the floors in all the bedrooms. We've put in some vinyl flooring or light oak flooring. It looks really good. There's been new light fittings and lighting all over the place that we've been putting in. Obviously repainting the entire place. There's been a lot, and I've pretty much forgotten most of what's been happening, but we've been knocking down a couple of walls. I've been running all sorts of security systems and been running conduits and cabling for camera systems and all sorts of stuff. And one really big update, and it's quite exciting. I actually did film some stuff about a week or so ago. To be brutally honest, I just haven't had time to edit and upload, so I figured I'd do this as a little bit of an update video. And I walked around the house, I showed you guys a little bit of what's been going on and how bad the garage is. The garage has changed significantly. It's actually getting all the holes patched up today, and I'm getting some paint work done on it. The carport area where I can fit two cars, so it might, I actually don't even know which cars I'm going to put there. It'll more than likely be the silver RX7, maybe this black one in front of me, maybe the Duke, I don't know yet. But we've been tearing down the entire driveway, building extra parking space, lots of parking space actually. So I mean, previously before, they had such a tight driveway with just lots of trees and... Okay guys, so before I get carried away, if you haven't noticed, the RX7 is in front of me. We're on the way to the licensing, my dad's driving it. And yeah, I'm going to be going back to work in this car shortly after. So going back to the whole driveway area, these people were very much into having vegetation and flower beds and all sorts of stuff, which is cool. I'm actually going to leave the back garden for that, but the front area, it was just one slither of a driveway, and there was enough space to get into the garage and the carport, and you had to do like a 10-point turn just to get out the driveway. So we've torn that place to pieces now. Essentially there's going to be parking for plus minus, I mean it'll be difficult to get the cars out, but there'll be parking. Hey, there's a GTR R35. There'll be plus minus parking for about 8 to 10 cars, which is pretty cool. It will be difficult to maneuver them, but there's parking for 8 to 10 cars in the driveway area. There's still going to be an area on the other side of the house where I'll be able to set up a double garage, but that is in time, and that's a lot of money. And yeah, I mean, there's plans to build extra stuff there. So the cool thing about what's happening, and I showed in the video, is that I'm going to be building a pit. If you guys don't know what a pit is, so it's going to be a big hole that'll be underneath the middle of the car where you park it, and there'll be some stairs you can go down. It's going to be roughly about 1.8 meters deep, and the width, I actually don't remember, I think it was about 1.5 meters. I think maybe a little bit less. Anyway, so you can get underneath the car and do work on it. So you'll park your car above you, you'll walk down these steps, and you'll be able to look up and work on the car, which is really cool. So I was planning on doing this in the carport area. That isn't going to work anymore because there's drainage systems and all sorts of stuff that I found out on the plans. So I'm going to be doing that in the garage. So this single garage that I've got now, we're going to dig down and we're going to turn it into a pit, which is pretty cool. Now that pit's going to enable me to do so much work, especially on this car here in front. It's such a mission to get this RX7 and the silver RX7 onto jack stands and do work on it. So when the pit is in, I'll literally just drive the car in, crawl underneath and do work. Really cool. It's going to be like a half-size pit, so for me to do work on, how do I explain this? So if I park the car front facing, I'll only be doing work in the engine bay, engine area and midway to the car, but if I reverse it, then I'll be able to do work in the back and up to the mid area. So it's like a half-size pit. So that's an update. The next thing is, why haven't I posted? I've been under the weather again. 2 weeks ago, just after I posted the last video driving the RX7, I landed up getting something called gastro. Super sick. I was just on the toilet most of the time. Sorry, I know, crude. On the toilet and then throwing up. And I lost like 4 kilos just puking, and jeez, it was horrible. So I took a little bit of time off for myself. Then on Sunday, my daughter started projectile vomiting. Now she's 10 months old. Projectile vomiting and diarrhea and all of that. So it's quite dangerous because obviously dehydration, and her little fontanelle on the top of her head, if you guys don't know, that's that little area that sinks in, or it's rather sunken in when they're born. You kind of do a little test to see if there's dehydration, and of course there was dehydration. And yeah, we rushed her off to hospital because she was also nauseous and like falling over. And we took her to casualty or emergency room, and they put in a drip, and a little vein blew up in her left hand, so they had to put it in the right hand. And then they did a whole bunch of tests, and they picked up that it is gastric flu, and they admitted her into the hospital. She was in for 2 days and on a drip, and it was a horrible time. I mean, everything was out of our control, nothing that we could do. And she's a lot better now. She's not drinking her full bottles or anything, but she is drinking, which is good, and we're happy. So I actually haven't even been on YouTube. I think I've watched probably 2 YouTube videos of other people's content. I think one was like from Roads Untraveled, and I think I watched the Logan Paul video. I just haven't had time, and whatever time I've had, I've been looking after my daughter with my wife and just spending good family time. I've also been at the house, so up and down trying to get the building contractors sorted out and made sure the guys know what they're doing. Okay, so that's the updates, what's been happening in my life. So I apologize for not uploading. And guys, this is purely an update video. We're just going to get that car across to the CLR station. I'm not going to film there. I don't feel like asking people for permission today. So as soon as I finish telling you guys what's going on, I'm cutting the video short. The next thing is we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Now, I never thought we would actually get to this stage, which is pretty cool. So guys, thank you so much. I think we're on 1954, 1953, the last I checked. Do me a favor, go find a video, share the video, or just randomly tell someone to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If we can hit 2K by the end of this month, that would be pretty cool. I know we've done it before. We usually gain about 150 plus minus subscribers a month, but as it stands, I'm not uploading so frequently. It's been a bit slower, but I'm back. And yeah, the next thing is some of you guys ordered some stickers. Guys, www.NelkelJDM.bigcartel.com. I've got some merch that I've been selling. Guys, whoever placed orders for the stickers, thank you so much. Because you were the first to place some orders, I've actually shipped you with both the stickers. I've already done that like 2 days ago, so it'll probably take about 2 weeks to come through to you. I'm so sorry about the delays. There's some footage that's playing right now. And yeah, I went through and dropped those off. So guys, you got 2 stickers. Okay, so I got a funny story to tell you guys about the R32 GTR. And it was on Sunday. It was just before my daughter actually got rushed to the hospital. And I decided, let me take the GTR out for the drive. I didn't boost it, I didn't go crazy because the oil still needs to be changed. So it was just me on the car, no cameras, nothing. I decided to drive to the house and switch the alarm back on. And took the car out there, and now the driveway is a bit of a funny one. It's like a steep driveway that goes down, but there's a lip for the rail of the gate, and then it just kind of just drops right down. And I thought the car would clear, and I kind of made a huge noise coming in because, well, kind of, hey, welcome the new neighbor type thing. Made a big noise coming in, and then I tried to get into the driveway, and I got stuck. I started scratching the diff, I started scratching the sump, exhaust. There was nothing I could do. I really thought I'd clear it, and stupid move on my part. Anyway, no damage at all. I got underneath the car and I take a look. It was light scratches. Managed to get the car back out in one piece. Didn't damage any bodywork, and I'm happy. The only issue is I need to redo the driveway at the top now, so we weren't planning on that at all. So now redoing that whole area, which is fine, I guess. So if that car didn't clear it, the RX7, not this one might clear it because it's quite high, but the silver one, definitely not. The silver RX7, I'm still busy doing the licensing on it. So the last video you guys saw, I went and did the weighbridge. The car weighed in 1260 kilograms. The data dotting happened, where it's a little spray that they spray 1,000 little particles all over different places of the cars, and they're micro dots where people can pick them up. Well, not people, the police or Veridot. By scanning the car, they'll be able to find that, okay, this is the car and it's been stolen or whatever. So that's done. That's by law. Every single car has to have it. The black one's got it already. Botched job that was done on the black one, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I've done my police clearance stuff. I need to go hand it in. So I've actually got all the paperwork here with me, and I'm going to go hand it in today. A little bit later. I don't have time now, but I'm going to go hand it in and carry on with the registration of the car. Now the black one, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we've got all the paperwork now. Everything is ready and the car can be licensed on the road. Now the only issue is that they wouldn't accept the licensing because the car needs an up-to-date certificate of roadworthy. I'm sure you guys all know what that is. I've been mentioning it in a couple of videos. The certificate of roadworthy is to make sure the car drives perfectly, there's no bad oil leaks or water leaks, anything like that, and is the car safe to be on our roads. So once we hand in those paperwork, the certificate of roadworthy, we can get all the paperwork back for the car and we can start licensing and putting in my name, etc. And then just to answer a couple of questions, a lot of you guys asked me in the previous video and the video before that, why do I still have the black RX7 when I own the silver one? And I've mentioned this when I was buying the silver one. This black RX7 is actually going across to my father. However, I cannot legally sell, lease, lend, hire, blah blah blah, long list of stuff that I cannot do for a period of 2 years from the date of registration. So we're probably going to have the registration done within the next, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks. Once the registration's done, the car's in my name and it stays in my name for, well, 2 years. Then my father's going to take it on. So that's also why he's driving it now. He's getting to enjoy the car, and I'm in the presence of the vehicle, so I guess he can kind of drive it right now. So another question that I've had is, why this black one? And you know, it's a bit of a funny story with this black one, but we were looking at auctions, or I was looking at the auctions, and I was bidding on specific cars, specific gradings, and I just wasn't winning them at all. And I had a certain amount of money that I was playing in the auctions, and I was getting close on winning some, but I never won any. And I decided, okay, let me just change my grading and what I'm looking out for. So I started looking cars with like a C and a D grading. I think this one was D interior and C exterior, or the other way around. But I never went for anything that was E or DD. It was always had to be a C and a D. So I started finding a couple of cars, and I started putting some grading and putting some bids on these cars. And this was one of them, and it was kind of a rush. I think I did it like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, because obviously there's a huge time difference here between South Africa and Japan. And I put a bid down for this car, and I forgot to check, is it an automatic? Is it a manual, rather, because I wanted a manual. And I didn't really care about mileage and that sort of stuff. Well, okay, so I said no more than 130,000 kilometers, and this one was on the nose, 130,000 kilometers. But I wanted to make sure it was semi-stock and it was average. Now, one thing I forgot to do at 2 in the morning was to check whether it's an automatic or not. The next morning I woke up and I had a phone call from the guys that bought it from Japan, partner. Congratulations, you won this car. And I was like, oh cool, so excited. I actually bid it on 3 or 4 black RX7s that night. And like, yeah, it's got this, it's got that. I was really stoked because, well, I won the damn car. Then later on, they sent me the grading sheet and the auction numbers. I was like, oh shit, it's actually this damn car. Anyway, nothing wrong with it. My dad digs it. My dad spoke to me about a year ago, or when, actually it hasn't been a year yet. He spoke to me a couple months ago, just after this car landed, and he said, well, he likes the RX7. It's his favorite new age car, because remember, he collects really old cars, 1919, 1915, whatever, Model A, Model T, Dodge Brothers. He collects all these really old cars. And he turned around and he surprised me. He said he really loves the shape of these RX7s. How does the auction process work? And blah, blah, blah. He'd like to... He wants to buy one. So I said, well, yeah, why don't we chat? Why don't you take on this thing? And he likes this car because it's already there. And obviously he can't take ownership of it for the next 2 years, but he doesn't care because he doesn't even drive his cars. He's got a whole bunch of collector's cars, and well, he doesn't drive them. So this is fine for him. Anyway, long story short, this car is going to be in my name for the next 2 years. Thereafter, he's going to take over it, and we'll probably get something else. Well, not probably. You guys know the deal. I do want to collect JDM cars, and I want to collect R32 GTR, RX7 I've already got. I'd love to get an R33 GTR just because. Nissan S15 Silvia, I'd love to get one. They aren't, however, collector's items in South Africa yet. There are 1 or 2 that are floating around, and they've been brought in different ways to bring them in. Anyway, so they haven't been brought in as collectors. So if you go live in Japan for a year, you can legally bring any car, as long as it's a right-hand drive, back into South Africa, even if it's a brand new car. Or live in America and bring a car as long as it's right-hand drive. Right, so that's how there are a couple of S15s floating around. So I'd love to get my hands on one of those. Obviously Toyota Supra Mark IV. I'd love to own one. I'd love to own a 200 SX, S13, S14, and yeah, or maybe in a couple of years' time, get all those cars together. That would be very cool. I'm going to do a Q&A video one of these days. What I'll do is I'll do a giveaway at the same time. So get me to 2,000 subscribers. Guys, help me out. Let's get there. I'll do a Q&A video straight after. And whoever asks questions and stuff, there'll be some prizes, some stickers, some of my merch, and then some other stuff that I'll put together and give away. So I did one of these at, I think, 500 subscribers, and there were 2 winners. One of you guys has been still on the channel, which is really cool, and always commenting and giving me support. So that would be Tose May. Dude, thank you so much for always being around, and thank you for winning, which is cool. Was surprised that you actually ended up winning that. So I'll put something cool together again, and I'll give away some prizes. But yeah, guys, okay, I'm going to end the video here because, yeah, well, we're almost at the CR place, going to drop the car off. And, yeah, I'm going to carry on to work and all of that. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Help me get to 2,000 subscribers. And thanks for all the support. I'll see you guys all next time. Cheers.